Shalom. This is Shalom from the Great Millstone Atlanta Camp. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to say call Halayim Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect. And I was just thinking, it's going to be a lot of, of course, the persecutions, even, maybe people at work that we deal with, that try and harm you or, get you in trouble in any type of way. The Lord is going to correct that. And I was just thinking back, because ultimately the Lord is going to preserve a lot of these people for destruction, for, the second death, which is the nuclear fire. But even now, things happen to people that come up against the hopeful elect, and it puts fear in you. For one, you fear the Lord because you see that judgment. So yeah, a lot of the people that's offending, the hopeful elect, the men of the Lord, the servants, the prophets, the Lord is gonna put hell on them, or even death. So the first scripture I wanted to start out with is Wisdom of Solomon 3:9, because it talks about how the Lord cares for his elect. It says, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he had care for his elect. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. So yeah, those that's not right, the Lord is gonna put a terrible judgment on them. And like I said, that judgment may not even come in the end. It may come. It could come swift. It could be quick. There's been things that happened at certain camps. I'm not gonna put it out there, but people coming up against the elect, and the Lord put he put a quick judgment on them. So just keep in mind, it may be some road rage, it may be an employee at work. Hey, go to the Lord about it. Ask the Lord to deal with that. Just like Elijah cursed those children in the name of the Lord, and those bears came and ripped them up, 42 children. Hey, the Lord has different ways of dealing with people. There was a situation with me, and I'm not gonna go deep into it, but it involved the officer, and something that happened to me and my wife, mostly my wife. And a couple of years later, that officer got his judgment, and it was terrible. It was a terrible judgment. And this was way before I even knew about the truth. And it just made me think. I'm like, we really don't have to do anything to these people. Now, if of course you're going to defend yourself, somebody try and come up and try and fight you or start beating on you, you're not just going to sit there and say, well, I'm going to take these punches. I know the Lord is going to show up in a minute. No, the Lord may put the strength and power on you to fight off 2-3 people. One person, So we pretty much put our faith in the Lord in every situation. Every situation that come about. Let's go to Matthew 18. I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And that's how we had to be on this side. Some of us were in our mind, strong and could defend ourselves. But that only goes, so far. It's always a better fighter than you. There's always somebody that has that can fire their gun faster and better than you. That has a better aim. There's always someone with a more powerful weapon. And Esau, by his blessing being a sword, we really don't want to get into it with this devil right now. Not on this side. The Lord is going to give us time. It's going to be a time where the Lord is going to increase certain men where we can get down. And I say we because I'm saying Lord's willing. I'm hoping Lord's willing I'm part of that number. But yeah, it's going to be a certain time where the Lord is going to, put the spiritual powers on certain men to bring his vengeance. All right. It says, continue. It says, and whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. It says, but whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believeth in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Yeah, because that's a painless, less of a pain death. I don't know how painful drowning is, but it's fearful because you knowing you can't breathe up underwater, and you knowing that's it. And then you take that breath and your lungs fill up, and that's it. You just stop moving, but you can still see, you can still hear. And then those that know about death, the last thing to stop working is your hearing before your spirit leaves your body. So yeah, just seeing that whole thing play out, it's fearful. But when I was talking about the officer, his judgment was way worse than drowning. It was terrible. And that alone, puts fear in me, even how I treat other men of the Lord. You got to treat other men of the Lord how you would treat yourself, actually better than you would treat yourself. Even your thoughts. You can't have negative thoughts about certain men of the Lord. Not certain men of the Lord, but, the men of the Lord. I'm going to continue at verse 6. It says, verse 7, it says, woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must need that the offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offense is coming. Yeah, the Lord's, man, when the Lord's really put that judgment out there, if you walk past the camp one time and you couldn't get it, and you sat there and talked shit, or even talk, just said something negative in your mind, the Lord got that. He got your number. It could have been something that you would think is minor or petty, because people don't understand that it's serious business when we out there teaching, or when we do these lessons, or even when we, just out and about, grocery store, driving, or at work, or anything like that. Just people that you deal with. If somebody got any type of hate towards you and you haven't done anything wrong to them, the Lord got their number. They're marked for judgment. They're marked for death. We all marked for judgment, but their judgment is going to be, it's going to be death. It could be death by pain. It could be, it could be something not as painful. We don't know how the Lord is going to play this thing out. But ultimately, a lot of these people they're gonna receive death by pain, and a lot of them is gonna be because they offended the men of the Lord. And let's go to Luke 18 real quick. Verse 7 says, and shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them. I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth? Yeah, because we gonna man, if you're not gonna have nothing but your faith in that time, right before the Lord return. It's gonna be missiles coming in. You know, it's probably gonna be missiles going off. But yeah, the Lord is gonna come with those with him, you know, with the chariots and get the elect out of there. But at the same time, the wicked of our people and the wicked of the other nations, not even the wicked of the other nations, the other nations, period, outside of Israel, you're gonna get destroyed unless you're an Israelite foreigner. I want to get one last scripture in 2 Thessalonians. And it says, chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, "Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you." Yeah. The Lord ain't going to just let, you know, all this shit happen to us, which is going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of persecution. And, you know, nothing happened to the people that did it. It could be a family member that turned you in. You could have love for that family member, you know, and they turn you in. And you know, the Lord saved you out of that situation. What you think gonna happen to that family member? It could be somebody that you praying for. The Lord is gonna put that wrath on them. But yeah, man, a lot of things that men of the Lord going through right now, the Lord is seeing all of this stuff, and he's bringing judgment on these people that's persecuting us. What it's going to be now is going to be in the day of the Lord. So yeah, hey, all we got to do is keep all faith, keep praying. You know, if you want the Lord to move somebody out of your way, hey, you already know what to do. So that was pretty much the point. I pray that this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles, great millstone, that teach and rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect. Shalom.